There comes a moment in every person's life when emotions rise faster than reason, when the heart races, the mind burns, and words escape before wisdom can intervene. That moment is called anger. It is a fire that begins quietly, often invisible, and before we realize it, it consumes our peace, damages our relationships, and clouds our judgment. Yet, beneath that fire lies a truth most people never learn to see. Anger is not caused by the world around us, it is born from the storm within us. To stay calm, no matter what, one must begin with understanding. You cannot control what you do not understand. And the reason so many lose control of their temper is because they believe their anger is justified by circumstances. They believe someone else made them angry, that a situation forced them to react. But the truth is simpler and far more powerful: you cannot be made angry unless you choose to be. The cause of anger is never the situation itself, it is the interpretation of that situation. It is not the words spoken to you that create anger, it is the meaning you attach to those words. The world only reflects what already exists inside you. If your inner world is calm, no storm outside can shake it. If your mind is filled with peace, no insult, no argument, no disappointment can disturb it. To truly understand calmness, one must see anger for what it really is: a reaction born from resistance. Anger arises when reality refuses to match our expectations. When people do not behave the way we think they should, when things do not unfold according to our plans, when life throws obstacles in our path, the mind resists. And that resistance manifests as frustration, irritation, and eventually, anger. But anger never changes the reality it resists, it only disturbs the person feeling it. The situation remains the same, but the mind becomes restless. So, the more we react in anger, the more we surrender control to the very thing that upset us. Calmness, on the other hand, is the power to see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. It is the ability to accept what cannot be changed and to change only what truly needs to be. A calm person does not live without emotion, they live beyond emotion. They understand that emotions are visitors, not masters. They come and go, but your awareness, your inner self, remains. To stay calm, you must rise above the level of reaction and reach the level of observation. Instead of becoming the emotion, become the observer of the emotion. Watch anger arise like a wave and watch it fade. The moment you start watching it, you are no longer controlled by it. Anger is not evil, it is energy. When channeled correctly, it can fuel passion, courage, and justice. But when uncontrolled, it destroys everything in its path. Imagine holding a flame in your hand. It can light a candle or burn your skin. The difference lies in control. Calmness is not the absence of fire, it is learning how to use that fire with awareness. When anger rises, the calm mind does not fight it, it understands it. It asks, what am I protecting? What fear lies beneath this emotion? And often, the answer reveals that anger is only a mask for pain, fear, or insecurity. People become angry when they feel powerless, unheard, or disrespected. But calmness gives you the strength to see through these illusions. When you are calm, no one can make you feel small, because you no longer depend on others for your sense of worth. Every time you feel anger rising, pause. Breathe. In that small pause lies the difference between chaos and peace. Between regret and wisdom. The pause is your doorway to calmness. When you pause, you reclaim control of your response. You move from being reactive to being responsive. You move from emotional impulsiveness to emotional intelligence. Calmness is not built in a day, it is cultivated moment by moment, breath by breath, choice by choice. It is easy to remain calm when everything goes your way. True calmness is tested in difficulty. It is when someone insults you, betrays you, or misunderstands you that is when your practice is tested. Do you let the storm dictate your mood, or do you stand firm like a mountain, unmoved by the winds of anger? Remember this truth: calmness is not weakness. It is power under control. Anyone can shout, anyone can react, but only the strong can remain silent, composed, and kind in the face of provocation. The weak scream to be heard, the calm know that silence speaks louder. When you understand the roots of anger, you begin to dismantle its hold over your life. Anger grows from three main roots: ego, expectation, and attachment. Ego says, "How dare they treat me like that?" Expectation says, "Things should have happened differently." Attachment says, "I cannot bear to lose this." All three are illusions, and the moment you recognize them, you are free. The calm mind lets go of the need to control people, outcomes, and situations. It learns to trust life. It knows that every moment, even the unpleasant ones, carries a lesson. And when you see life as a teacher, not an enemy, you no longer react, you learn. The mind that reacts in anger loses clarity. It speaks words it later regrets. It takes actions that create more pain. Anger is like a cloud covering the sun of wisdom. Only when that cloud passes can we see things clearly again. So, the wise do not act in anger. They wait. They let the emotion pass, then act with awareness. That is the secret of inner peace, not the suppression of emotion but the mastery of response. There is a powerful saying, "You cannot calm the storm, but you can calm yourself, and the storm will pass." Life will never stop presenting challenges. People will still misunderstand you. Situations will still test you. But if you master calmness, those challenges lose their power over you. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become a creator of your own peace. The more you practice calmness, the more life aligns with that vibration. The energy you radiate becomes the energy you attract. A calm mind invites calm people, calm situations, and calm solutions. Now, how do we develop this calmness in daily life? It begins with awareness. The next time anger rises, do not suppress it, observe it. Feel where it begins in your body. Maybe your chest tightens, your breath shortens, your face warms. These are signs from your body that emotion is building. Instead of letting it control you, breathe deeply. Focus on your breath. The breath is the bridge between the mind and body. The moment you slow your breath, your heart rate slows, your mind steadies, and clarity returns. This simple act of breathing mindfully can turn anger into awareness within seconds. Another way to cultivate calmness is through understanding others. Most anger arises from misunderstanding. We assume intentions, we judge too quickly, and we take things personally. But if you can pause and ask, "Why might this person be acting this way?" you shift from anger to empathy. You begin to realize that everyone is fighting battles you cannot see. Perhaps their harsh words come from pain, their impatience from stress, their anger from fear. When you see this truth, compassion replaces irritation. And compassion is the foundation of peace. Calmness is also built through acceptance. Acceptance does not mean weakness or surrender, it means understanding that not everything is under your control. You cannot control others' actions, only your reactions. You cannot control the weather, the economy, or the behavior of others, but you can control how you think, speak, and respond. When you accept what is beyond your control, you free yourself from frustration. You begin to live with ease, not tension. The calm mind accepts change, uncertainty, and even pain as part of the journey. Let us imagine two people facing the same challenge, one reacts with anger, the other with calmness. The angry one loses clarity, argues, and worsens the situation. The calm one pauses, thinks, and finds a solution. The situation is the same, but the results are completely different because of one simple difference, their state of mind. Calmness is not about avoiding conflict, it is about facing conflict with awareness. It is not about pretending to be emotionless, it is about channeling emotion with intelligence. When calmness becomes your habit, your entire perception of life changes. You stop seeing obstacles as enemies and start seeing them as teachers. You stop needing to prove your worth to others, because peace within becomes your validation. You begin to realize that anger wastes your time and drains your energy, while calmness builds your strength and attracts respect. People listen more to the calm than to the loud. A calm voice carries more authority than 100 shouts of anger. Why? Because calmness is confidence. Anger is insecurity made visible. Ladies and gentlemen, think about how much peace we lose daily over things that will not matter tomorrow. Someone cuts you off in traffic, a colleague disrespects you, a family member misunderstands you. We replay these moments in our heads again and again, feeding anger long after the moment has passed. But life is too short to waste on such things. Every minute spent angry is a minute stolen from your peace, your joy, your focus, and your growth. Do not let temporary emotions create permanent scars. The more you hold on to anger, the heavier you feel. The moment you release it, you become light. So, learn to let go. Forgive quickly, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Holding anger is like drinking poison and expecting another person to suffer. You harm yourself far more than anyone else. Letting go does not mean forgetting, it means freeing yourself from emotional chains. It is realizing that you cannot move forward while holding on to what hurt you. Calmness is born the moment you choose peace over revenge, understanding over judgment, and patience over reaction. The calm mind also knows the power of silence. When tempers rise, silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. It gives time for reflection and prevents regret. Not every argument deserves your energy. Sometimes, walking away is more powerful than winning a fight. Because true victory is not proving others wrong, it is proving to yourself that you have mastered your emotions. As you practice calmness, you begin to notice subtle changes. You sleep better. Your thoughts become clearer. People around you respond more positively. Your decisions improve because they are made with reason, not reaction. Even your physical health benefits as stress and tension decrease. Calmness heals not only the mind but also the body. Anger inflames, calmness soothes. Anger destroys, calmness restores. It takes time to build this inner peace. You will not transform overnight. There will be moments when you fail, when anger still wins. Do not judge yourself harshly. Growth is a process. Every time you become aware of your reaction, you are already progressing. Every time you pause instead of shouting, you are training your mind. Calmness is not a talent, it is a skill. And like all skills, it strengthens with practice. Remember this: calmness is not something you search for, it is something you uncover. It already exists within you, buried under layers of fear, pride, and reaction. When you peel those layers away through awareness and understanding, you rediscover your natural state, peace. That is who you truly are beneath all noise, the observer, not the reaction, not the anger, but the awareness behind it. Ladies and gentlemen, life will test you again and again. People will challenge you, circumstances will frustrate you, and emotions will tempt you to lose control. But every test is an opportunity to rise above. Every provocation is a chance to strengthen your calmness. And every moment of patience builds your power. The calmest person in the room always holds the greatest control, not over others, but over themselves. And that is the highest form of mastery. So, from this moment forward, make a simple promise to yourself: no matter what happens, I will choose calmness. No matter who provokes me, I will choose understanding. No matter how intense the storm, I will stay still within. Because calmness is not about escaping life, it is about mastering it. It is about walking through chaos with grace, facing anger with wisdom, and transforming reaction into reflection. Let calmness become your identity. Let peace become your power. And when the world around you burns with conflict, let your stillness become a reminder that true strength lies not in force, but in control, not in shouting, but in silence, not in winning arguments, but in winning yourself. And when you finally learn to stay calm no matter what, you will discover something extraordinary: that nothing outside you has the power to disturb the peace within you. That is when you are truly free. Emotional discipline is one of the rarest strengths a human being can develop. It is not inherited, nor is it taught in schools. It is forged through awareness, patience, and practice. To stay calm no matter what happens, you must first learn the art of mastering your own emotions. Because the truth is simple: if you cannot control what happens inside you, then the world outside will always control you. The key to peace lies not in changing others, but in mastering yourself. Every emotion has energy, and every reaction carries power. Anger, frustration, sadness, fear, all of them are natural. They are not enemies. They are signals from your inner world, messages that something inside needs attention. Emotional discipline does not mean suppressing these signals, it means learning to understand them without being ruled by them. The difference between the reactive mind and the disciplined mind is awareness. The reactive mind reacts immediately, the disciplined mind pauses, observes, and then chooses how to respond. That pause, that single breath between impulse and action, is where your power lives. When you pause before reacting, you are no longer a prisoner of emotion, you are a master of it. The more you strengthen this awareness, the calmer your mind becomes, even in the most chaotic circumstances. This is the beginning of true emotional discipline, the ability to choose peace when everything around you tries to pull you into chaos. Emotional discipline requires daily practice. It is like training a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you resist the urge to argue, every time you choose to listen instead of shout, every time you decide to breathe instead of react, you are strengthening that inner muscle. And with time, calmness becomes your natural state. You will find that what once disturbed your peace no longer has the same power. You begin to see life differently. You begin to see people differently. Because once your emotions are balanced, your perception of the world changes completely. The first pillar of emotional discipline is awareness. Awareness means being conscious of your internal state before it controls you. When you feel anger building, do not push it away. Simply notice it. Notice the change in your breathing, the tension in your body, the speed of your thoughts. Observation creates distance. The moment you become aware, you are no longer lost inside the emotion. You begin to watch it from a higher place. That awareness alone reduces its power over you. The second pillar is control. Control does not mean suppression. Suppression is pretending you are calm while you are burning inside. Control is knowing your emotion fully but choosing not to let it rule your words or actions. It is understanding that anger is temporary, but the consequences of angry words can last a lifetime. When you control your emotions, you protect your peace, your relationships, and your future. To build emotional discipline, you must also train your mind to slow down. A calm mind is a clear mind. The reason most people react impulsively is that they never pause to reflect. Their emotions move faster than their thoughts. But the disciplined mind has learned to create space between stimulus and response. That space is the difference between wisdom and regret. And the simplest way to create that space is through breath. Deep, conscious breathing resets the body and calms the nervous system. When emotions rise, your breath becomes shallow. But when you take a deep breath, you tell your body and brain, I am safe, I am aware, I am in control. Emotional discipline also requires understanding that peace is a choice, not a reaction. You cannot wait for life to be perfect to feel calm. If you only feel peaceful when everything goes your way, your peace is conditional and fragile. Real calmness is unconditional. It exists even in imperfection. It says, I may not control what happens, but I control how I respond. And that simple realization transforms your entire relationship with life. There will be moments when emotions test you. Someone will say something unfair, a situation will seem impossible, or life will bring unexpected pain. In those moments, emotional discipline whispers, pause. Do not react. This feeling is temporary. Because all emotions pass. No matter how strong they seem in the moment, they fade. Anger fades. Sadness fades. Even joy fades. But the awareness behind them, your true self, remains. The more you identify with that stillness rather than the waves of emotion, the stronger your discipline becomes. Another key aspect of emotional discipline is understanding triggers. Everyone has them, situations or words that instantly spark anger or frustration. The disciplined person studies them. Ask yourself, what triggers me, and why? Is it disrespect? Is it being ignored? Is it failure? When you identify your triggers, you begin to understand the deeper causes behind your reactions. Often, our strongest emotions come from old wounds, insecurities, or unmet expectations. When you bring light to those shadows, they lose their grip. Self-awareness dissolves emotional pain. Discipline also means knowing when to detach. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every insult deserves your attention. Some situations are better left in silence. The calm mind understands that not everything requires a reaction. You cannot fight every battle, and you do not need to prove your peace to anyone. Sometimes the most powerful response is to simply walk away with dignity, not resentment. Detachment is not avoidance, it is wisdom. It is knowing where your energy belongs and where it does not. Emotional discipline is built on consistency. You cannot remain calm once and call yourself peaceful. You must practice it daily. When you are tired, when you are stressed, when life challenges you, every day offers you countless chances to strengthen your calmness. The traffic jam that tests your patience, the coworker who challenges your composure, the family argument that invites your anger, all of these are your training grounds. Each time you respond with awareness instead of reaction, you grow stronger. The moments that once controlled you become your teachers. One of the most profound truths about emotional discipline is that it does not come from force, it comes from understanding. You cannot force yourself to be calm by suppressing anger. That only creates inner tension. Instead, you dissolve anger through comprehension. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling it? What can I learn from it? When you meet your emotions with curiosity instead of resistance, they transform. The energy that once turned into rage now becomes insight. The emotion that once caused pain now becomes wisdom. Another essential part of building emotional discipline is mastering your thoughts. Every emotion begins as a thought. You cannot feel angry without first thinking something that justifies that anger. So if you wish to control emotion, you must first control thought. When you think, this shouldn't have happened, or they shouldn't have said that, you feed the fire of resistance. But when you think, this is unpleasant, but I will handle it calmly, you immediately take back control. Your thoughts are the architects of your emotional world. Build them carefully, and you will live in peace. Gratitude also plays a powerful role in emotional mastery. When the mind focuses on what is missing, it becomes restless. When it focuses on what is present, it becomes peaceful. Gratitude grounds you in the moment. It shifts your attention from what you cannot control to what you can appreciate. No matter how challenging life becomes, there is always something to be thankful for: the breath you take, the lessons you learn, the strength you are developing. Gratitude transforms frustration into acceptance and anger into humility. Discipline also means understanding the difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is automatic. It is the emotional reflex that bursts out before thinking. Response is intentional. It is guided by awareness, logic, and compassion. The emotionally disciplined person does not rush to respond. They listen. They think. They observe. Then they act with purpose. This is not weakness, it is maturity. It takes strength to hold silence when anger demands noise. It takes control to smile when frustration demands reaction. And it takes great wisdom to remain kind in a world that often misunderstands calmness as passivity. To strengthen emotional discipline, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. When you live mindfully, emotions no longer surprise you, they arise, and you simply watch them. You start noticing your mental patterns, your emotional triggers, your habitual reactions. You begin to see that you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness behind them. That realization brings immense peace. The more mindful you become, the less control your emotions have over you. Another powerful tool for building emotional discipline is reflection. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect: where did I lose my calm today? Why did that moment affect me so deeply? How could I have responded differently? This habit turns every mistake into a lesson. Reflection converts experience into wisdom. The person who reflects grows faster than the one who only reacts. Over time, you begin to notice patterns, you understand your emotions deeply, and that understanding becomes your armor against unnecessary suffering. Discipline also means self-compassion. You will not always stay calm. You will make mistakes, lose patience, say things you regret. But that does not mean you have failed. It means you are human. Emotional mastery is not perfection, it is progress. When you fall, learn gently and rise again. Self-compassion allows you to grow without shame. The calmer you are with yourself, the calmer you will become with others. The inner voice of kindness is stronger than the outer noise of criticism. As emotional discipline deepens, you begin to realize something profound: you do not need to react to every emotion that appears. You can simply observe it, breathe through it, and let it pass. You start to understand that emotions are temporary weather, but your inner sky, the calm awareness within, is permanent. The storm comes and goes, but the sky remains untouched. You are that sky. You are that stillness. You are not your anger, you are the awareness watching it rise and fall. When you live with emotional discipline, you gain freedom from the control of others, freedom from impulsive reactions, freedom from unnecessary suffering. People may still provoke you, but you will no longer give them the power to disturb your peace. Circumstances may still change, but your stability will remain. Because emotional discipline is not about controlling the world, it is about mastering your inner world. And once you master your inner world, the outer world follows. The emotionally disciplined person is a source of peace to everyone around them. Their presence calms rooms. Their words carry weight. Their energy soothes rather than stirs. They do not speak to impress, they speak to uplift. They do not act to dominate, they act to understand. Such calmness becomes magnetic. People trust those who do not lose control easily. They feel safe around them. Emotional discipline earns silent respect. It commands attention not through noise but through presence. Ladies and gentlemen, emotional discipline is the foundation of wisdom. It is what separates maturity from impulsiveness, leadership from chaos, peace from turmoil. Every great thinker, every wise leader, every truly peaceful soul has mastered this one quality: the ability to remain calm under pressure. Because when your emotions are stable, your decisions are clear. When your emotions are balanced, your life becomes balanced. So train your mind every day. Begin each morning with intention: today, no matter what happens, I will remain calm. When someone tests your patience, see it as an opportunity to grow stronger. When emotions rise, remember that awareness is your anchor. When the urge to react appears, breathe. Count to 3. Feel your heartbeat slow. And remind yourself that calmness is your strength, not your weakness. With time, you will notice a transformation. The things that once triggered you will lose their power. You will start to feel peace even in noise, stillness even in chaos, and clarity even in conflict. You will realize that nothing outside you can disturb your calm unless you allow it. That is emotional freedom, the highest form of peace a human being can experience. And so, ladies and gentlemen, remember this truth: emotional discipline is not about never feeling anger, sadness, or pain. It is about learning to feel them fully, yet remain free from their control. It is about turning emotion into awareness, reaction into reflection, and chaos into calm. Because the moment you master your emotions, you master your life. When you live with a calm mind and disciplined heart, no storm can shake you. You become the eye of the storm, still, silent, powerful. And from that stillness, you create a life of wisdom, strength, and peace. As we reach the end of this journey together, take a moment to breathe deeply. Let the words settle not just in your mind but in your heart. Calmness is not a destination you find one day, it is a practice you live every day. Emotional discipline is not a skill reserved for the strong, it is the very thing that makes you strong. When you choose peace over anger, understanding over reaction, and patience over impulse, you are building an inner strength that no chaos can ever break. There will be storms ahead. There will be moments when emotions rise, when people test your patience, and when life seems unfair. But in those moments, remember this: you always have a choice. You can choose to react and lose your power, or you can choose to remain calm and rise above it. The one who stays calm, stays clear; the one who stays calm, stays in control; the one who stays calm, stays free. So walk forward with calmness as your armor and emotional discipline as your guide. Let your silence speak when words are unnecessary. Let your stillness heal where noise divides. And let your peace become a light that reminds others that true strength is never loud, it is silent, centered, and unshakable.